All right, what's good with y'all, bro? All right, so welcome to the channel. First things first, make sure you sub up, make sure you like up. All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about the basics and the setup of BandLab. All right, so BandLab, if you did not know, it's a free DAW. All right, DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation, and pretty much what you're going to do is you use these platforms to make music. All right, this is how you create music, whether it's a beat, a remix, a DJ mix, or an actual song, a mix, a master. You use DAWs. All right, and BandLab right now is the best free DAW on the market. It's not close. I don't know if there's another free DAW that has all of the features that it has for free like BandLab does. So that's why I want to make these videos so that people will know how to use it from start to finish. If you've never opened it in your life, then you'll know after these videos. All right, so I pretty much want to make about like 4 videos, 4 different parts showing y'all how to use BandLab. After that, I will have videos on presets and all type of different stuff, but in this video right here, we're just going to go over the basics of what's going on in this DAW, and then we're going to go over pretty much the setup, how to set up a session and, you know, get ready to start recording and stuff. All right, so we're not going to start recording in this video. We're going to do that in the next video. We're going to actually record some tracks and stuff, but in this video, we're going over the basics. Let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to go from top to bottom. All right, top, left to right, and then to the bottom. Okay, so these 3 lines right here, different options. This is the project tab. All right, this is where you can obviously create a new project, pull up any recent projects. I haven't saved any, so I don't have any recents. Or you can open from a song template. You guys can explore this on your own and see if any templates are cool that you like. They have different genres here. We're not going to use it for this video because we're doing everything from scratch, but that's how you do that. And then collaborators. BandLab is super dope when it comes to collaborating with others without physically being in the room with others. You know, remote work and getting things done remotely is a huge advantage and a big priority for a lot of people. So you can really get full songs done between people using BandLab super easy. All right, here's the edit tab. You really don't have to use this because everything you can edit, you can do that using the right click, which we'll go over later, but you don't really have to use that. Same thing with the tools. All right, with the view, you can adjust the grid size. All right, so this is so the further down you go, the smaller the grid size will be. All right, so right now it's on smart. We can put it on bar, but then we can also change it, put it on 1/8, and that's basically just when you zoom in, it'll change these actual, you know, numbers that you see right here. It'll let you be able to do more finite changes with the grid, but we're gonna leave it on smart. All right, lyrics, notes, samples, MIDI map, and chat, we'll go over that later as well, because as you can see, they are in the bottom right as well. But like I said, we're going from top to bottom, so we'll get to that later. The next thing is your settings. All right, so with your settings, you have snap to grid. Snap to grid, if you keep it on, we'll go over that actually, so don't even worry about it. I'll just talk about that later. But the metronome and stuff like that, the count in, those are all together. The count in is basically when you hit the record button, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll start recording. If you turn it off, it'll record as soon as you hit the record button. If you put it on 2 bars, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then it'll start recording, right? And you pretty much can change that, and you can, you know, enable it or disable it. All right, the metronome is what's gonna keep you on beat, so we'll go over that later as well, but just keep that in mind. All right, now enabling multi-track recording and automation recording is something we'll talk about as well. Help gives you the shortcuts that you need if you need any video tutorials outside of these ones, or any help center or help by. If you're having any issues, you can go there. And then this is the exit button, self-explanatory. All right, now let's go down here. Okay, so this is the metronome, right? What this does when you hit play, so this is the metronome right here. What this does is when you hit play, you see how y'all hear that? So basically it's gonna keep you on beat. So if we pull up a beat, which we're gonna do in a second, then the beat doesn't have, you know, the drums usually will keep you on beat while you're recording, while your artist is recording. If the drums aren't in yet, but you want to lay down some tracks and you still want to be on beat, of course, you can have the metronome. All right, and you can just turn it on and off like that. And you can change the tempo, the sound of it. You can put a cowbell, clav, a cat, a beep, a tick, whatever. And you can change the volume of it because it, sometimes it sounds a little too loud or it may be a little too low. You can just change the volume like that and you'll be cool. All right, this is the BPM. We're not going to touch that yet because I'm going to show y'all something in a second. So we're going to keep it on 4x4. This one right here, you don't really have to change much on this one. And then this is the key. All right, and don't worry about this yet. We're not going to touch that just yet either. Up here, you can title your project. So we're just going to put demonstration because this is a demonstration. And then the standard play button. This button right here, you will hit this. So if you're recording, right, or you're listening to anything, you want to go from the top, you ever hear an engineer or something say, take it from the top or bring it to the top, you hit that, it's going to go to the beginning of everything. All right, don't matter where you at, you hit that to go to the beginning. All right, obviously this is a record button, red button, record button. This right here is a loop button. So this red section, right, you see when I click it, it becomes, a brighter red, a more prominent red. And when I click it again, it's kind of faded. When it's faded, that means it's disabled. When it's activated, it looks like that. And basically what this does is, so we can edit this as well, right? We can move it around, we can resize it like that. And what you're gonna do is, let's say we put it like this and it's on. Whenever I hit this play button, it's gonna go from the beginning to the end and come right back. This is basically if you want to listen to a specific part of the beat, right? Now, mind you, if I click it off, it'll play, it's going to ignore it. So it's not going to loop anything. It's just going to play whatever you're playing. Okay. And this is just the timer. It's going to let you know, how many minutes and seconds you are into a song or a beat or any audio file. This right here is the volume of the master, basically. So this is the volume of everything. All right. It's not going to change the volume of certain clips or audio clips or beats or anything. This is the master volume right here. Okay. And then over here, you have the save button that you can save your projects, of course. You have the invite button where you can invite other collaborators. Anybody who has a BandLab account, they can collab with you. And you have the, this over here just has like news and what's new and stuff. So if you click over there, just see what's up and see if they added anything that might be interesting to you and stuff like that. And then this over here is the undo and the redo button. All right. So now what we have here is the add track button. All right. This is going to be where we're going to add all of our tracks, obviously. All right. So what a track is pretty much is either a voice recording or audio. You got virtual instruments, which is also called VSTs. You have drum machines. You can pull up a sampler in BandLab. I never used the sampler, but you can try that if that's something you're into. And you have a guitar and a bass as well. All right. Pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over simple 2-track recording, and that's basically just the beat and then the vocals. That's what simple 2-track recording is. So anything outside of that, you would just multiply that by however many tracks you need, right? So if you're recording a certain instrument, a couple of instruments and vocals and something else, drums, all individually, you would just add as many as you need. Okay. All right. This right here is an automation track. We'll go over that in a second. And this is audio stretching. So if you have to, stretch any vocals or audio, you can use that as well. And pretty much, like I said, these are the numbers that you're going to be going by. Remember, we're in bar. And this is the snap to grid, right? So basically snap to grid will allow you, if you turn it off, it'll allow you to move audio clips wherever you want them on this timeline. If you have it on, it's going to be on the lines exactly. So in certain moments you'll want it on, certain moments you'll want it off. Normally I would turn it off once you're editing actual vocal clips, which we'll talk about in a later video. But for now, we're just going to keep it on. And this is the zoom out and zoom in buttons. All right. So let's add the tracks in here. We're going to add 2 tracks. Like I said, we're doing 2-track recording, right? So I just hit add track and I use voice and audio. I'm going to use that for both. Okay. So this is the screen we get. All right. So when this comes up, basically the way I like organizing my sessions is I'll put the beat at the very, very top on the first track. All right. So the cool thing that you could do in here, that's helps with organization is you can right click and you can change the color. All right, so I'll change it to this baby blue right here because now I know that anything in this baby blue is my actual beat. All right, so I'm gonna just grab a beat from one of the beats I made, so I don't get hit with that copyright. I'm just gonna grab let's just grab this one. Nah, that's actually to a song. Hold up, let's grab this one. All right, so I don't even know, I just grabbed any beat for real. I just didn't want to grab one that I know for a fact was attached to a song for y'all. All right, so first thing you notice when I dragged the beat in here, right? I dragged the beat in here. This changed and this changed, okay? 158 BPM in F minor. Why did that change? Because BandLab analyzed the audio and set it so that we are in key and that we're on tempo. Whenever you do a new track, a new song, it doesn't matter what DAW you're using. You have to make sure it is 1 in key and make sure it is 2 on beat, on tempo. So the BPM has to match the BPM of the beat and the key has to match the key of the beat. If a beat doesn't have a key, it's out of key. So they all should be in key. They all should have some key. And you want to make sure you set that every time. But on like I said, BandLab does it automatically. If you're not using BandLab or for some reason it doesn't do it automatically, you can go on tunebed.com, drag the beat into tunebed.com. It'll analyze it for you. I haven't really seen TuneBed be wrong yet, so I'll just go off of what they say, and then you just adjust it however you gotta adjust it, or you can ask the actual producer who made the beat if that's if you gotta get it done like that. All right, that's our beat. Our beat is loaded up. Let's play it real quick, make sure everything is cool. So we got our beat here. All right, it's playing. We can hear it through the headphones good. Cool. Now, like I said, we're gonna go over everything from top to bottom because we added something new. Let's go over what you can do over here. All right, so what you can do is you can hit plus effects. Okay, this pulls up the effects channel, but like I said, this is down here, so we're not gonna dive into it, but this is what that button is for. These 3 dots basically just do what I did here. I just right click. So 3 dots and right click are the exact same thing. Multi-track recording is if you want to record, let's say we add another track, voice audio, and we match the color up and we want these 2 audio channels to record what we're saying at the exact same time. So if you want to do that, you pretty much would just right click, enable multi-track recording, and now whatever button is red is going to record whatever we record, and whichever button is not red, it's not going to record. All right, this is the mute button. This is the solo button. Solo, you'll just hear whatever track you solo, and so it'll mute everything else except for that track. Mute, it'll just mute this one. All right, and this drop down is just to give you some more room if you need to maneuver or anything, you want to drag things around. This L and R is left and right panning. Okay, panning is pretty much putting a sound to the left side of the headphones or to the right side of the headphones. Okay, so let's play this again. I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit so y'all can hear what I'm saying. All right, so if I do this, it'll be on the left side more than the right side. If I pull it all the way, it's only coming out of the left side. And if I do this, now it's only coming out of the right side. If I keep it in between, it'll be more right side, more left side. And if you double click it, all right, it'll go right back to the dead center. Okay, so with beats, unless you're doing some effects or whatever, you normally want to keep that just dead center. But if you're doing like vocals and stuff, then you do, like for ad libs, a lot of times I'll like pan stuff to the left or the right. So, but that's panning. So that's what panning is. And if you didn't hear that effect, then you probably don't have 2 headphones on at the same time or 2 speakers. It may be a little bit difficult if you don't have it, but that's what it does. All right. So that's cool. That's that, right? And that applies to all of these. So it's the same thing. It's just these are empty at the moment. Now, what we got down here. Okay, this is the interesting part. This is kind of like the fun part. All right. So this is kind of, I refer to it as a control panel. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I can just call it a control panel because you're basically controlling whatever you selected up here. right? So as you can see, when I select this, this turns orange because it's a different color because I'm on this one, right? Now, mind you, what we also could do is right click, rename this, and we can title it just beat, right? Hit enter. And so now we know this is the beat that we're controlling, right? If we hit here, we know this is the voice audio on track 2 that we're controlling, right? So it's going to line up with whatever you have selected. This little strip of color right here will also tell you what you're controlling, okay? When you go down here, you want to start from the left side and you want to put your input on whatever microphone you're using. I'm using this, this is my USB mic, so I'm just going to keep it on USB mic. And then if it has multiple channels, then you can select channel 1, channel 2, or both. Basically with the channels, if you have like an audio interface, that's where that'll come in handy. All right. And also the input level right here. So if while I'm talking right now, y'all can hear me regular fine. But if I turn on input monitoring, I can hear myself. All right, so I'm only talking through BandLab right now. I'm just showing y'all what it sounds like. I'm gonna turn on my regular OBS microphone now. All right, so now I'm talking regularly on OBS. I know that sounded, pretty low for the input, but the good thing is you don't want your input to be super high. When you're recording, this is just a pro tip. Do not record super hot. And what I mean hot, I'm saying don't record on a loud input. You want to record on lower volumes so that you have headroom to play around and alter the actual audio. All right, that's just a pro tip, and that's for any DAW, that's for anything. Okay. Now down here you have 3 different tabs. Auto pitch is auto tune, obviously. We'll go over that in a second. You go here, you can add your actual effects and different presets. We'll go over that too. In the editor, you can actually edit the track. So we have an audio track here. So the reason this was empty is because we don't have anything recorded, right? But this right here is the editor where we can change the pitch, any gain or anything. We can click around and do that. Make sure you click it to actually be able to edit and change these things. And you can put it in reverse if you had to. All right. So we'll go back to the auto tune, auto pitch, and basically you turn this button on. So now we're in auto tune, right? I'm not recording. I don't have monitoring on right now, so you can't hear the auto tune effect, but it is on this channel. Notice when I click here, it's not on this channel because we're only editing this track right here. All right. And please don't put auto tune on your beat by accident. Please just don't do it. Okay. Now you have different categories. You got the hip hop, which I think is a more stronger auto tune. You have hyper pop, and then you have sci-fi, which is like robotic-y. Essentials is probably like the best one to go to, so I would say keep it on that. All right, and now what you can do, you can play around with these settings right here. Classic, duet, usually leave it on classic. Natural is something that you have to be a pro member to do. So if you do have if you want to pay for pro, it comes with a lot of different things, of course, but this is just a tutorial for people who want to keep it for free. And make sure the scale and the key matches what's up here. So this says F minor. So you hit scale, you go to minor, and you click F. That's it. So now when we do record with the auto tune, this is going to match the beat. You have to have your auto tune match the key of the beat. Has to happen. All right. And that's with any DAW. Okay. Now, effects tab, if we want to add different effects, we can do that. We'll go over that in a future video. But if you have like presets, then you click this button right here. And if you have, sometimes they have trending ones that other people can use. They have ones that are from their specific audiences. They have one that they made themselves, and then you have my presets. These are a couple that I found online, so I'll test those out in a future video. But those are the ones, if you found a preset and you link it to your account, save it to your library on your account, it'll come up right here under my presets. All right, and then that'll be loaded up and stuff. Okay, the editor, we already went over that. All right, so going over here, this is the volume. This is how you change the volume of the specific track that you're selected on. All right, so if this beat is too loud, we don't touch this. Okay, let me actually put that to 0. I just double click. We don't touch this master volume. We touch this volume because this one is going to change just the volume of the beat. If we record our vocals and they're too loud, we're going to bring it down. Or if they're too low, we're going to bring it up. That's just the volume of this track. All right, each track has their own control panel, things that you can control. We already went over panning. We said, demonstrated what that is. So that's, just panning on the specific track, which you also can do right here. And then you have a reverb button, but they do have reverb on the effects. So you don't really have to use this reverb, but it's up to you. You can do what you want. I might test it out and see the difference, but that's what that is. All right. And then these last tabs right here, lyrics and notes. This is a pretty cool tab. If you're a writer and you want to write down your stuff, you can type it all right here and then have it right in front of your face while you're recording, so you don't forget it or have to look at your phone or look at anything else. All right, and then right here you have the BandLab sounds. So these are different packs that you can use. This is more so for like beat creation. If you guys want to like make beats in here as well, you can make beats on BandLab, and I might do like a little tutorial or something showing how to make beats on BandLab. If y'all want that, I'll definitely do that too. All right, but you have the beats, you have loops, and you have different one shots as well. I don't know in terms of the royalties and copyrights how that works, so I wouldn't touch it. If you're a beat maker, I would bring your own sounds, but it is what it is. All right, the chat is what you can use with other collaborators. So you can put in the chat like something that you want to show somebody or tell somebody within this song that you're working on, and you can say, yo, bring the vocals down a little bit, or record this over, or do this and do that. And that's super cool. I'm definitely going to test that out and try that out and show y'all how that works with some other collaborators. So and then this is the shortcut window tab that tells you all of the buttons that you can use while you're within BandLab. And learning these will help you make stuff faster. I'm like a clicker. I'm more of a clicker myself, so I'm like to move the mouse around, mad fast to figure it out. But if you are a shortcut type of person, just look at this a couple times while you're doing it. You'll get used to it. Some of them are self-explanatory, like delete. Like if I want to delete this, you hit the delete button, you know what I'm saying? So some of them are self-explanatory. All right, but that is a basic tour and setup of BandLab. Like I said, we got our beat right here, we got this right here. All right, and we got our input. Okay, we got all of that set up. I showed y'all how to do monitoring. So right now, this is how you would set your session up, and then you would start recording. On the next video, we're going to talk about recording and different techniques that I use for recording in any DAW, but we're going to be using BandLab, of course, and we're going to be actually tracking some vocals and showing y'all kind of the method with that. But yes, that is it for now. Make sure you sub up, make sure you like up, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2. Part 2 will probably be out. Part 2 should be out maybe in a couple days as well. I don't want to have these too far apart, but once they're all up, I'm sure that it'll be even more helpful because everyone can just watch it from start to finish. But yes, I'll try to have part 2 up as soon as possible, and then we can keep on going, keep on moving. But if this helps you out, make sure you like it up, sub up, and comment.